There's this constant duality. No leader on Earth, a planet, an object in outer space, acknowledges. But everyone uses as a game played by those who are dominant, aware, and especially by those who have attention, concentration, focus. In other words, those who have behavior and gesture and posture and ethnicity and dialect and culture and style. Now, Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King, Mr. Former President Barack Obama, spiritual leaders, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, and other examples involving history, are now information. Considering Mr. President Joe Biden, Ms. Vice President Kamala Harris, mental health services, no social worker counselor provided. Black Lives Matter and Antifa using psychiatry to sell their drugs to make their money, to have their body armor, black combat boots. And a cancer survivor who had chordoma removed by Dr. Manuel Ferreira Jr. Treated as if, undoubtedly I and others, have scars on our faces, disfigurement with our bodies, from a lack of care now. Neurology within clinical practice doesn't get talked about when there's mushrooms. And John Hopkins studying consciousness research with psilocybin, talking about a revolution in mental health now, talking about addiction and hallucination, having patients and volunteers consume a substance now. Keeping track of behavior and results afterward now. And similar to revolutions involving socialism and communism in Chile, Venezuela, and here in Seattle, Washington now, they're inevitably another example, another discussion, another thought, and more thinking now. And these doctors, these PhD fellows, behavioral neuroscientists, these psychedelic shamans, don't ever attempt or try to explain consciousness. Never talk about awareness. And some of the unfortunate parts of what happens when they're ignored now. There's witches who treat their patients. There's magicians who hypnotize women. And there's humans who proclaim their theory and their philosophy and every next word and sound and move of my finger and twitch of my mouth involve time. Seconds and minutes and hours and distractions and days and years I didn't have when I had chordoma. And wouldn't have heard a crow, a bird. Now, now, now. Comparatively, clinical neurology, quantum mathematics, involve much different processes. Body and brain, equations, textbooks, solving problems using arithmetic. Now, quantum neurology. Neurology in a clinical office requires years and more time to have a professional degree to help and assist patients and clients, gender-neutral humans, gender-neutral visitors, girls and boys, men and ladies and women and girls, children, in a pediatric hospital, adults at a veterans hospital now. And what's different with these choices and lack of obvious distortion, confusion, misdirection, and disarray has to do with compassion. For all who need, for all who ask for assistance, but unfortunately, not having to do with ethnicity and not having to do with stimulation and reward, ego and self, mind and psychedelic journeys. Now, and mostly having to do with having technology and energy available, freedom to turn off a warning on a screen involving a low battery now, and intelligence dignity, humbleness, tenacity, and grit to say, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Vajra Guru Padma Se.